I'm Amber, and thank you for joining me today. If this is your first time, welcome, and I hope you enjoy what you're about to hear. Randy Granger is best known for his Native American flutes, but is just as well known for his knowledge in percussion instruments. Sit back and enjoy.
Hi, don't know if you can see me down there, but I'm going to play an instrument for you called the Cajon. I've been asked about it, and I use it in my performances and in recordings. It's spelled C-A-J-O-N. Cajon is the Spanish word meaning box. So the cajon is believed to have been developed by the slaves from Central and West Africa who ended up in Peru, who were brought there by the Spaniards, of course, and they had these crates lying around, and that's believed to be one of the genesis of this instrument. It's used a lot now in flamenco music, Latin music, and in my case, my own kind of Southwest world music, and the cajon is a box. It has four sides. It has an opening right there on the back side. There are snares built in this particular one. Snares. Some people use guitar strings that kind of give it that snappy sound. So anyway, I thought I'd kind of demonstrate it for you a little bit. And it's hot here today. It's 85 degrees, so I'm wearing shorts. This is the cajon. So that's the cajon, coming soon on a Randy Granger recording near you. Thanks. The hung drum, it's spelled H-A-N-G, like hang, and pronounced hung because that refers to the hand in the dialect from Bern, Switzerland, where it's made. Sorry about that. They've only been around since about the year 2000, so they're a fairly new instrument, even though they really sound familiar. They sound like they've been around forever. Their lineage is really from the steel pans of Trinidad and Tobago, from that whole area. And instead of being concave, they're convex, and they're meant to be played with your hands. There's only 7 notes on top of them, so you have to get a little creative when you're banging the heck out of them. So what I have done is try to put dances to them, and I love jigs. A jig is a dance in 6/8 time, so I translated this to my hung drum, and I called it Hung Jig. It's not very creative, I know. This is from my CD, The Roswell Incident. That really is its name because I'm from New Mexico, so I thought I'd kind of make a joke out of the whole UFO thing, since they do resemble a UFO. Whenever I travel, I always tell them that I got this when I was at Roswell, and for just about 5 seconds, they believe you, Anyway, I have him for sale. This is from the Roswell Incident. It's called Hung Jig. It's just so similar to when I would drag my mom's pots and pans out of the cupboard, beat on them with wooden spoons, only it's much more melodic. Working with storytellers is not new to me, you know, but working with an actor with such a monumental piece as an Iliad, it really, it in a good way, it caused me to refine how I wanted to communicate musically. The night before our opening night, we were rehearsing on it, and we were, you know, at one point we just looked at each other and said, what are we doing? Oh my gosh. Because it had never been done here. We didn't have a reference point. You know, we didn't have a reference point of how it should be done. Algernon and I are now like some of the best, you know, duos, you know, who play together so often and who listen to each other so well that someone could say, make up a story, and we could do it. But we had to get through an Iliad first. That was our birth. That was our walking across those coals, you know. We connect to the oldest tradition of oral storytelling. We get out of the way, and we inhabit the character, and we inhabit that tradition, the old tradition. My ancestry is Mayan. They were oral people in the way that they passed down stories. That's how you learned moral codes. That's how you learned creation stories. That's how you learned when to plant crops. All storytelling. The way I look at all the instruments I have, really, they're more like colors that an artist would use. You know, you have the green and the red and the blue, and you by just blending those colors ever so subtly, you can produce an entire palette. You know, just an entire universe with just the primary colors. They lend a slightly different sound. I'm reading the words, I'm listening to the words, and I'm hearing them, and I'm thinking, this scene makes me feel a certain way. What instrument do I have that's going to help support that feeling, evoke that feeling? It's like an emotional soundscape, I guess is what I would call it. And while the actor is delivering certain lines, I will even notice the actor start to move towards the rhythm a little bit too. He is reacting to what I'm feeling from the audience and what I'm offering back, and so it's a real symbiotic thing. And like there's other places where I'll play faster. Those are all communicating emotional cues. So I'm not necessarily like what they used to have in the old silent movies when you'd have that rickety piano player, you know, ding, 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 you know, as they're like running along and everything. But like I'll do things like just, and the audience is not even aware for the most part of what I'm doing, and I'm glad. every skill that I have has led up to me to be able to do this now. And when you feel like you're stretching yourself, it's beautiful, right? As an artist. But I'm just grateful that I have all these instruments that I do have, but also that I've had such good teachers throughout the year who've taught me not about the instruments, but about music, and about what music does, how it works. But the technique is not the end-all be-all. It's, can you meld it with your heart, with what you're feeling? So I'm grateful. I think that I'm, going towards there. I would hope so. I don't know, but that's the real goal, I think, of any musician. To use that technique and then forget it all, and play with your heart, not from your heart, but play with your heart through whatever it is. So when I taught drums, I would have a washboard, and I would make my students play it, and they'd say, I can't play that in band. And no, but if you can express yourself on that, you can express yourself on anything,
So I am excited. Here I am, still at the World of Fairies Festival. This is the man who inspired me to play the halo. It's Randy Granger.
mosquito song?
Thank you for joining me on this installment of Randy Granger's Peace and Wisdom. I hope to see you again soon, and until then...